Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar. Then we'll go through the UK Met Office run, have a look at the precipitation and temperature over the next 5 days, and then we'll have a look at the mid and longer range, looking at the GFS, GM, Eastern VF and the ensembles. As it does look like things will be warming up through May. Over the next week or so it looks quite unsettled. There will be showers around, some persistent rain for some, especially further northwards and westwards, and we could be seeing some heavy thunderstorms as well, perhaps even as early as tomorrow afternoon. But as I said, it is warming up and we could be seeing temperatures get into the mid-20s within the next week or two. There is uncertainty with that, but confidence is building that it's going to be above average in terms of upper air temperatures, and that means whenever we do get sunshine, whenever we do see some sunnier, drier weather, we will see those temperatures really climb into the mid to high 20s for some. Just to remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. So to start on the live radar, you can see at the moment we do have relatively dry conditions for quite a few, but we do have a smattering of moderate to heavy showers, some across the south coast into the far southwest, again along convergence zones where winds colliding, giving lift to these showers, again over parts of southern Wales and a few across the northeast and into parts of Scotland. Now there is a more persistent weather front moving into the far northwest of Scotland and Northern Ireland, and that is bringing more energy. So we're seeing more showers and potentially persistent bands of rain moving in. Now this weather front is going to move southwards and eastwards over the coming hours, and that's behind it where we have more unsettled conditions, more energy within the air and the atmosphere. That's where we could see these thunderstorms spark up tomorrow. But if we do have a look at the temperatures, so it's about 5:45, so it is decreasing now, 5:40. But you can see the highest temperatures were in the south, where we've seen the warmest air with a little bit of sunshine poking through. Majority, though, quite cloudy today across central southern England. Again, through parts of the Midlands, pretty decent, where showers have occurred across the southwest and parts of southern Wales is cooler. Again, northwest England into northeast England, still quite warm again to that area. Just north of Liverpool's quite warm once again. Seeing a bit of oranges come through similar to central southern England and across parts of southeast Ireland as well. That's probably been the best area near Kilkenny, looking really nice indeed, up towards the mid to high teens. Elsewhere further northwards, widely sort of low teens, sort of around 10 to 14 degrees. So not crazy bad, but not amazing at the same time. So do now have a look at the UK Met Office run, look at what's happening with the precipitation and the temperatures over the next 5 days. It is going to be very difficult to say exactly in terms of temperatures, and as I'll explain in a minute. But for precipitation, you can see over the course of this afternoon, those showers popping up over far southwest of England, through Wales, and the persistent bands moving into parts of western Scotland. Those move eastwards and southeastwards, and by tomorrow, rush hour, the persistent rain is moving through. See a bit of sunshine behind that, and by around lunchtime tomorrow, heavy thundery showers breaking out. Significant storms could be seen within this. Again, I do suspect it's overdoing it in terms of the widespread nature. These are not going to replicate every single storm, but it is looking quite likely we're going to be seeing some severe torrential showers, if not thunderstorms, breaking out across tomorrow afternoon through the central sort of spine of England. Now they move eastwards before decaying away through the around 6-7 p.m. So by sort of early to mid-evening. Beyond that, through Thursday, some more persistent rain pushing into the far west, but majority of areas are quite dry through Thursday, especially further eastwards, a bit of sunshine, and then more showers. Through Saturday, not too bad, dry under higher pressure, and that's when we could start to see those temperatures rise, but could see some cooler conditions overnight. Now, if we do look at the max temperatures, it's very difficult to say with this, simply because, as I said, with the shower activity, wherever we see showers, it's going to keep those temperatures down. Wherever we don't see showers, those temperatures are going to rise. So, with quite a showery outlook, very difficult to say exactly where the convection is going to pop off. These temperatures could be a few degrees either way. It could show 17, 18, 19 degrees. See showers pop up more like 14, 15 degrees. It could show 14, 15 degrees here, and those showers don't develop exactly where they are on the latest run, and we see those temperatures rise a bit more. So I would take these with a little grain of salt, but they are generally in the right ballpark, especially overnight as well, where in terms of temperatures staying above freezing, at least for the next few days. So you run through, you can see this afternoon widely, sort of 10 to 14 degrees, a bit warmer actually in the far south. You can see, as I said, the UK Met Office run predicting more showers across central southern England. So that's area where we saw sort of 17, 18 degrees. It was only forecast to maybe 14, 15 degrees. And across parts of Southeast Ireland, showing 14, 15 degrees, it got a little bit warmer than that. So again, underdoing those temperatures slightly. If you move through, you can see overnight not dropping too far, and then by Wednesday afternoon, so once again, seeing those temperatures rise to potentially 16 to 18 degrees around the central belt of England. But again, all depends where those showers develop. If we don't see those thunderstorms, 17, 18, 19 degrees is possible. We do see those showers and thunderstorms significantly less, more towards 14, 15 degrees. So again, very, very variable. Through Wednesday night, we do see those temperatures drop down to high single digits, nothing too cold. And by Thursday afternoon, could be a really quite pleasant day, 18 to 20 degrees, quite widely through England, Wales, parts of the Republic of Ireland. Maybe a degree or two cooler, and across Scotland getting up towards 15, 16 degrees, especially further eastwards. And that continues into Friday. Not quite as warm in central England with more cloud and showers around, but in the best spots still 17, 18 degrees. Continues into Saturday, could be a little bit of a frost across Scotland, and by Saturday afternoon, 16, 17 degrees in the far south. But as I said, it's very difficult to say exactly where we'll see these highest temperatures. And by early hours of Sunday, could see a frost maybe through central areas, perhaps. And that is just because we are seeing high pressure build in. And that looks like it could be happening towards the end of the weekend. So we do now have a look at the long or mid to long range. If we start with the GFS. Now, GFS hasn't completely finished its run, but it's got out to 300 plus hours. So if we do run through, you can see high pressure building in at the moment, but low pressure still just to our north, giving the showers over the next couple of days, and a little bit persistent rain moving through, as I said, tonight into tomorrow, giving those thunderstorm potential. Beyond that, high pressure tries to build in towards the weekend. It successfully does by Saturday and Sunday. But by the middle of next week, low pressure tries to win out. We've got high pressure to our east, low pressure to our west, and it does drive the wind up more from the south. So even though it could stay a little bit unsettled, perhaps, especially further northwards and westwards, it will drive very warm air very close by to our south. And if we run through that, you can eventually see high pressure build in, and we tap into those warm southerly winds with very low pressure out to our west. Now, if we do run that back and have a look at those air masses, you can see by the end of this week into the weekend, 5 degree isotherm building in, quite decent indeed. And that continues into the middle of next week. Very warm edges to our far southeast, cooler air to our northwest. Again, very, very high temperature gradient. That's going to fuel showers as well. Beyond that, you see right towards the end of the run, really pushing up a very balmy southerly wind. The 10 degree isotherm gets in, very warm indeed, and would give temperatures, if we do have a look at the United Kingdom look, we would give temperatures roughly in the ballpark of sort of mid-20s perhaps. You can see 23 degrees on the day before we get that proper warm air in, and it most likely would rise. At 6 a.m. it's 15 degrees, so most likely would rise to mid-20s. If we do just run out again, have a look at the European look and have a look at the temperature deviation. You can see right at the end of the run, a good 4 to 6 degrees, maybe 8 degrees above average. So very warm indeed there, and that would potentially even classify as sort of a May heat wave. Again, very difficult to say exactly what crosses the boundary into a heat wave, but if we saw these sort of upper air conditions, mid-20s, maybe high 20s, it would be warm enough to be considered, I think, a heat wave. But we'll have to see how it does play out. There is uncertainty, as we'll see with the GM and the ECMWF. So you run through these, they were both pretty bullish, or they have been bullish over the last couple of days. Not every run, but majority of the time showing warmer conditions. But as we run through the GM, you'll see why there is uncertainty. High pressure building in, controlling the weather towards the middle of next week before low pressure really tumbles back in and just sits over the UK. And that high pressure, instead of building over the top of the UK, builds over to our north, starting to move the wind in from a northerly direction. Much cooler air masses mixing in, below average. So GM really different to what the other models are showing, and the ensembles showing cooler conditions at day 10. But as I said, as we'll see with the ensembles, especially in a minute, the majority are well above average. So I think this is just an outlier run, but we do have to, of course, take it into account. If we do have a look at the ECMWF, see how that does compare. Again, high pressure building in, at the moment and towards the weekend, looking pretty decent. Low pressure trying to push in, unsettled conditions perhaps in the far west and north, but we are starting to see potentially that high pressure building, and you can see low pressure further to our west, and this high pressure is migrating up from the Azores, and we would start to go warmer. At this point, there's still have a chillier air mass to our north. Look at the temperature deviation, it's slightly below average, but we've got this much warmer air wafting up from the south, so it does look like likely on this ECMWF run, delaying it a bit, but it would go much warmer, if not hotter, at day 10. So if we do now have a look at the ensembles, we start with the GFS ensembles. This is the 6Z run, as the 12Z hasn't fully come out yet, but you can see it's well above average for the foreseeable future. The whole run pretty much is below above average, apart from maybe a day or two below average towards the start of the weekend before that warmer high pressure built in. So you can see up and down, but majority of the time above average, and then well above average in around day 7 to day 10. And we stay well above average. Some ensemble members going cooler, but majority are well above average, towards that 10 to 15 degree area, potentially on maybe 4 or 5 of these runs, which would be really warm indeed. You see others though going much cooler. Again, I'd say there's more of the outlier runs, similar to the GEM run. You can see the GFS operation run from 6Z was very warm early on, but turned cooler in the longer term. Precipitation is not crazy, but it is still there, so convective showers are likely over the coming weeks. If we do have a look at the ECMWF ensembles, just to finish the video, and you can see they are warm, they're if not hot at 17th of May. You look well above average for the whole time, just above average over the next sort of 3, 4, 5 days, and then well above average by the course of the start of next week, and it stays well above average. And as I said, at towards the end of the run, at around day 10 to day 14, we're a good 5-6 degrees, maybe more than that, above average. The amount of ensemble members going towards that 10 to 15 degree isothermal level, that would be incredibly warm and hot, and it's consistent. There's loads up there. Very few are cooler, very few even just below the 1981-2010 mean. So that's why I definitely think there is quite a high chance now we are above average in terms of temperatures, which is low to mid 20s. For some, others just high teens, low 20s. So it does look like above average temperatures are going to be seen, especially further southwards you are, but not exclusively. Definitely further northwards we'll likely see it as well. There is going to be precipitation and some unsettled conditions around, showers and storms, but potentially, it's only potential. There is some days it will be dry, some days will have higher convective output. But if we do finally finish up, have a look at the 2 meter temperatures, longer term, you can see a few ensemble members getting up into the mid to high 20s, 30 degrees potentially on a few of these runs, and the average is around that 18 to 20 degree mark, and right on the 17th of May, 18th of May, getting up towards 22, 23 degrees on the average of the ensemble members. Again, the averages here showing 17, 18 degrees are taking into account the colder runs as well. So if the milder, warmer runs, which is the most likely scenario, comes off, it most likely will be around 20, 21 degrees. And again, these temperatures do underdo it by a degree or two because they are low resolution. So most likely 22, 23 degrees will be our sort of stock high temperature potentially for the middle third of May. Now there is time to change, but we're seeing this consistent signal, so I think something quite drastic has to change. And if we did see something change, it most likely will be that jet stream activating. That warm air will still be to our south and still would affect us, but we wouldn't quite be as warm because we'd have more showers and precipitation and cloud moving in. So that's the only thing that I could see that could limit us seeing sort of mid to high 20s in around a week's to 10 days time, or starting in a week's to 10 days time. But as I said, it's uncertainty. We'll have to look at it. There's no guarantees at this stage, but hopefully I think a lot of people are looking forward to some proper warmer weather. Of course, there will be precipitation around, which is good. We wouldn't want just bone dry weather, because we would be having issues, especially with the hard ground, and of course plants struggling with not a lot of precipitation around recently, but with heavy showers coming in over the next couple of days, and that will continue over the next week or two. It's not looking like a complete dry fest, so that is one also good thing. Yes, precipitation around may turn things a little bit cooler for a time, but it's going to mean we're not going to have super dry conditions, which could, of course, damage plants, especially early on in the summer season. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully we do see some warmer weather coming up, and if you're looking forward to the thunderstorms, hopefully we do see some big thunderstorms over the coming days as well. But as I said, I'll see you again for another video soon.